What up, what up? Welcome to the Sneaker History Podcast. My name's Nick Engvall with my guys, Robbie Falchi and Mike Guillory, to talk some kicks. What's good, fellas? How you guys doing?
Yo, I am good, man. Just happy to be recording today. How y'all doing?
Belching and flexing. Oregon's been doing really well so far in college football. Drinking a cherry Coke. If I forget to mute myself and you hear a very large belch, my mother raised me better, but over the years I have digressed. So I'm sorry. Sorry, Mom.
I guess we should just jump right in. I didn't look for reviews, but the last time I looked, I didn't see one. So we'll skip over that. But if you haven't left us a review, head over to iTunes or Amazon or Audible or wherever you listen to or consume the podcast. And
ducks fly together.
Feedback.
Come fly in to the Apple Podcasts. Yeah. Drop your turd comment on my head. It's whatever it might be. Come on, ducks fly together, man. If you're watching this and you're an Oregon fan, I know you see this jersey, you're like, man, it's a nice little jersey. Go do it. You people are crazy. Like Oregon fans, Ohio State fans.
They don't want to talk to you right now.
UNC fans, Alabama, obviously. Come support us. I didn't go there, but just I'm wearing a jersey. So come on.
You live there, close enough.
You want me just to start it off with the ROCKIN and COPPIN?
Yeah, let's do it.
Since I'm over talking anyway, might as well just keep on flowing with it. But I've been rocking probably one of my favorite shoes in a very long time. It's so funny I keep going back to this damn shoe. It's the Puma RS Fast, man. It's literally my go-to. I need to go to the swimming pool or I need to go pick up my Instacart at the grocery store. I don't know why I like it so much other than it's just comfortable. Not a hard shoe to acquire. We've talked about this a million times. Go try different stuff. If you're taking L's, go give yourself a W. They're out there. He's got to look for W's. They're out there on the earth. But when it comes to COPPIN, I'm definitely looking backwards and going against everything I just said. I want the Topaz 4s really bad. I keep seeing them on the internet. I didn't really give them any love when they first dropped. I thought they were kind of just, I didn't think they're anything special until I've seen them in person now twice over the past couple weeks, see them for sale. And something in my brain is just like, man, you need to acquire that 4. So maybe I'll be looking back. The Bad Bunny too, the black Bad Bunny is also one of those shoes that I know Mike can appreciate. Very popular, but resale didn't pop off. It's $230 for my size. So I'm like, that's not bad. Index has a couple sizes in stock. So either Bad Bunnies or Jordan 4s. I don't know, but going back past a couple months. What about you, Nick?
ROCKIN, Jordan 3s.
Classico.
Get to brag that I got these 2011, 2012s.
Mm-hmm.
The from 88 or whatever it is. What was it? I don't even remember.
The 88s.
But it's been nice weather, so time to break out some good shoes. As far as COPPIN, I guess related but not related. There's a New Balance 992 with elephant print on it, so I'm all in. I need to get a pair of those, black with elephant print.
Nice.
How about you, Mike?
Well, now that I'm back on here because my new internet apparently hates this platform, what I've been rocking is been that A6 Gel Light 3, that patchwork. Just dropped my good old review on that one. I think they're super awesome, super different, and something that the brands I've been talking about, which I think is silly. They should talk more about stuff like that. But my COPPIN's the same as I think our last episode. I still eyes on the Gundam Dunk. I don't even want to speak about any other shoe right now because that's the only one on my radar.
You're going to be sad in like a week.
I know.
I'm sorry. I mean, it's so funny because that's one of the shoes. I've had people in my DMs, as friends that like sneakers but aren't into sneakers like that. They're like, "Hey, how hard are these going to get?" And I'm just like, "They're going to be hard."
Yep. Yeah.
It's you're going to get shellacked.
Look at that. Raining on my parade already, man.
It's
I'm sorry. And it's trying to,
Hey,
500 days of summer. You got to have expectations versus reality.
Temper expectations.
Hey, but the good thing is you got a lot of people in Discord that'll look out for you. So
many.
Yeah.
I was actually just thinking I need to call upon the Discord.
See, my luck is that everyone's going to hit. I'm like, only need one. I do not want to pay all you guys. I appreciate you, but Jesus, I only need one.
I'm sure there'll be plenty of people that want them that you can, that people can sell them and, get their money back.
I wouldn't worry about that as a problem. I'd first worry about getting one, let alone 4 to 5.
My luck's weird when it comes to releases like that. It's either like a drought or just way too many. Just like, let's calm down. All right.
Yeah, Mike, man, I'm sorry, but I just think that's the way the cookie's going to crumble. Sorry to stay on that, but it is how it is.
That's what's happening.
But there's tons of good stuff out there, including this beautiful new Candace Parker collection, which I don't know about anybody else here who spent a lot of time just bored watching ESPN2 about 15 years ago, but I'm one of those people who watched a lot of ESPN2. And I remember Candace Parker in the All-American McDonald's game balling the hell out, even before she got to Tennessee. So she's had one of those historic careers. And it's interesting when you think about the greats in the WNBA or the greats in women's basketball, if you want to go back to like Cheryl Miller, people who didn't have a chance to play the WNBA, Doris Burke, baller. But there's so many just like generational talents over the past 20 years in women's basketball. Just like the amount of elite, so elite that they push the game forward level WNBA players is crazy. Like the modern renaissance of it is only going to keep getting better, especially as we see these young girls now coming in with being able to shoot better and all these different things. But Candace Parker was like the wing guard from the heavens. And I learned this today. She's one of only players to ever win MVP and Rookie of the Year at the same time, same season.
Oh,
super
like
facts.
That's some Magic Johnson shit. Like but Magic won the Finals MVP. It wasn't even. Think about that, coming into the league and being that good. The only real comparison I think to being that good that quick would be Maya Moore, one of her contemporaries, who's taken time off to be a social activist, again, like from the heavens, doing crazy stuff. But Candace, to see Adidas rep for her like this, she's always been in the cut with Adidas. She's always in marketing and stuff. But I feel like a lot of brands, and this is no shade to anybody, like there'll be a women's collection or like one woman thing or, one shoe here, something here and there. But Candace has really been integrated with the brand since the jump. So we have an Exhibit A is the Candace Parker signature shoe. Beautiful. That's all good and everything. But it's really cool to see it so focused on her. You can only get it at Dick's Sporting Goods and Adidas. You don't see the kind of like limited releases like that anymore very often. But I just wanted to bring up the Candace stuff because like so often, especially like LeBron too, right? You don't realize how long you've been seeing somebody play or they've been in the limelight or been doing something great. And when you think about it, damn, it's been 15 years of Candace Parker and like, we're lucky, right? We're lucky to be seeing like the end of like, I guess we got to see because Rafa's kind of done, like all these great talents over the past 20 years, be it tennis, women's basketball, men's basketball, come and go or come and be on the exit of their careers and just really stop and appreciate what they've done. I really appreciate Adidas for doing that, but just wanted to go look up Candace Parker highlights from when she was younger. She's still great now, don't get me wrong. But like young Candace was like kind of like T-Mac, but a girl and like equally explosive. It's just amazing. So if you're an Adidas athlete, if you're an Adidas kind of person, I've realized, especially in modern times, the line between whether you wear Adidas or not, whether it be your school or AAU, whatever it might be. But if you're into Adidas, go check those out. If you're a guy or a girl, they're super cool. So shout out to Candace. Even if you're a guy, go watch Candace Parker highlights. You're going to learn something. Like, that's what a lot of people don't understand. You can go watch other genders and learn stuff. Candace Parker's baller from another world.
Yeah, there's actually a really good article from, it's probably like 3 or 4 years old now, but Aaron Dodson wrote a pretty good article on the Undefeated about why she stuck with Adidas all these years too, which to your point, like they just take care of her, and I think it's a mutual respect. But it was really interesting because he kind of documented some of the stuff and talked about some of talked about the relationship between the two of them. I'll put a link in the description for that too, because it was definitely worth reading. So this episode, we're going to get into a little back and forth, I guess, talk about some Jordans, compare some Jordans, basically because Robbie threw up a picture up onto the Sneaker History Instagram. If you're not following, you should, at Sneaker History on Instagram, comparing the Jordan 3 and the Jordan 4. And I mean, there's some good comments in there. So I'm going to throw it to Robbie and let him introduce this whole conversation.
Yeah, man. So we're going to be doing Jordan 3 versus Jordan 4. It was so interesting to me that those two shoes in that one posted so well, but here we are. The internet's a simple place. So I actually have both shoes here. We have the Jordan 4 and the Jordan 3. I tried to get a left and a right so I can do this properly. It's so funny when you see them side by side. I try to do red pill and blue pill because the Matrix also. See what I did there? Coming out December. Keanu Reeves, what's up? Don't kill dogs. So red pill versus blue pill. When you see them side by side, they're so similar. You don't really realize it. How often do you wear one shoe and then the other? I'm not going to judge you. Don't do that. But I guess the biggest thing you can always see, right, is the visible air in the back. These two both happen to have plastic heel tabs that say Nike Air on the back. Jordan 3 is a little shorter. I'm going to leave interpretation to these design cues to our panel here. But you have Jordan, Nike Air on the back, whatever, depending on whatever model you have. But plastic tabs, some kind of toe box design there. This one happens to have elephant print, the iconic Jordan 4. I never know how to describe where the red and the black is here, but it's kind of like two waves. There's got to be some kind of literature out there describing why it sounds like that. But then Jumpman's on the tongue. Interesting vamps. Wings. So like these eyelets here are kind of predecessors literally to the wings of the Jordan 4. They're both 3/4 cuts. Talked about that in another episode. Very hard to pull off. Outsole's quite similar also. Right? Just Nike stars. Super similar. So which one is better? I think there's a lot of interpretation here. I'm not saying colorways. You could hate the true blue. You could love the fire red. Talking models.
I mean, I'm just pissed that you implied that me being a fan of the Jordan 3 would mean that I would choose the blue pill in the Matrix, because that's definitely not the case. I would definitely choose the red pill, but I got to go with the Jordan 3.
You got to go with the Jordan 3, and we'll get why, but just like, I want to start with the heel, right? Because, I mean, so much fanfare is made over whether this has a Jumpman or Nike Air.
Doesn't matter.
Apples to apples, Jumpman to Jumpman. Doesn't matter. Nick, you always get cut up by him. I think the 3 has a better heel than the 4.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing about both those heels is that if you wear them with short socks, you know, it can be dangerous, especially with that plastic. It's super sharp, super, like, just dangerous. Which, yeah, see, and that's, you know, military is probably my favorite Jordan of all time. I mean, it's a toss up between the militaries and the true blues for me. But I think just looking at the heel is easier for me to wear on the 3. I don't have to worry about it so much. I think the 3s in general look better with like pants. It's just a more default like wear. The way that like pants rest on the shoe to me looks better. If I'm wearing them with low socks, I almost prefer something like the Columbias or the Oreo 4s because it's got that leather patch or that leather heel, right? Which I know it's not as defined visually, aesthetically, but it makes it so much easier for me to wear because once it starts cutting into your heel, you know, you're done. Like there's no tapping out. I mean, I remember days where like when I would get a new pair and wear it around and I just would prefer to wear shorts all the time anyway. But that once it starts digging into your heel, I'm like putting tape on it. I'm putting Band-Aids on my leg on the heel tab. I think that's like the one, you know, in hindsight, that's the one part of the design that is flawed to me.
I never had the issue with my fours when it came to the heel tab. Yeah, I don't know. I think these actually look better with pants than the threes. I don't know, with the extra layers on it, like with the wings, and then just some of the more details on the upper. I feel like I don't dislike the threes whatsoever. Like, it's always a toss up coin flip between the threes and the fours for me, but the fours always just kind of win because my favorite's the military blue. But I think they look equally good with pants, with shorts, because they do have a little bit more detail on there. So I don't know. It's pretty nice to me.
I've also never really cut myself on them before, but what I think is so funny is everybody's trying to argue like if they look good with pants. They're 3/4. Neither one of them look good with pants. Like, straight up. It's like, that's why I'm saying in another episode, like the dunk mid is off. Like, there's the 3/4 is so hard to pull off. These are shorts only.
I think they both look good with pants. I just prefer the 3 because I think it actually, I don't think of like denim jeans or anything, but like I'm wearing Dickies or Ben Davis pants or something that's like kind of like workwear type stuff most of the time. Or I'm wearing like more athletic, right? That has that like just kind of baggy sweats or baggy, like, wind pants or something you would basically see MJ wearing back in the late 80s. Right. And to me, I think they both look super dope with pants because of the tongue, right? Like that, like pop and that, like just in your face tongue it was just so different than, like, think about just the transition from the 2 to the 3, how much more in your face the shoe became because of the Jumpman on the tongue and how extended it was. It's crazy.
Yeah. That's super crazy. I don't know.
Only way these two shoes are working is if you're Lil Wayne in 08 or Nelly in 04. Like, and he had the deepest sag of all time, and you can't even tell.
Oh man, I still wear mine. Like,
shorts. It's so funny because like I hate wearing Jordans for the most part, unless it's like a specific type of pant, like Nick was alluding to, something maybe very retro. I don't like wearing Jordans with pants. I'm wearing Jordans naked. No, I'm just kidding. But like, shorts, I mean, for as much as I can, shorts only, or they have to have a cuffed ankle. I'm talking like defined cuff. Yeah. Like I'm out on parole ankle cuff. It has to be really tight. So you were talking about how high the tongue is and how the tongue looks. It has to tuck in very nicely. It can't be any like awkward kind of fold over. So, I mean, Mike, you have the military blues in your hand. Mm-hmm. Nick, you're just saying the true blues and the military 4s are your favorites. So, I mean, like, gun to your head, you have to pick one of the two. Which one's your favorite?
Uh-oh.
I mean, I'd probably go true blues right now. But that's definitely something that could change day to day.
Mike, if you had to go, it doesn't have to be, Nick just happened to mention those two. I'll give you a second to think about it. Like, my two favorite, either like the white cement 4 and the black cement 3, like from each respective. Again, if someone put a gun to my head and it's like a 3 or a 4 and a colorway, I think the white cement 4, contrary to popular opinion, is probably the most perfect, if not the most perfect Jordan ever. Like that, I'm in that camp. Like, black cement, I know there's a Wale voiceover in the StockX commercial. That's how popular the black cement 3 is. Ben Savage wore it, just like the elites of the elites, the haves, and we're all have-nots. So even with that said, I still like the white cement more than the black elephant. I would rather have a white cement 4 and ultimately a 4 over a 3. So weird. But Mike, what two colorways respectively would make you think to have to choose, and which one are you choosing?
So, I mean, clearly this is one that makes me think the military blue 4, but also the black cement 3. They were neck and neck because the black cement 3 was like the retro I bought when I was in college. It was like my own money when I worked at Champs. So I was really proud to have that one. And it actually, I wore them both pretty much in tandem, so much so that my black cement 3s, I don't even know where they are. I think they're in the closet. They're actually, they've already separated. Like, the whole uppers come off the sole now. You need to get them fixed. But I still have to go with the 4. I just like the way the 4 is shaped a little bit better. I like the toe down look more on the 4 a little bit, which is probably not that much different from the 3. But I just like there's a little subtle changes to the 4, like a little bit more. But I mean, I wouldn't be mad if someone gave me either one, to be fair. But 4 has to come out on top, I guess, of this conversation.
Mike brought up an interesting point about like the threes, the separation on the threes. And I would say that generally the threes tend to become unwearable sooner from separation. Mm-hmm. But I think that the 3 ages better than a 4.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you that.
I would agree. The 4 doesn't crease as nicely as the 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is weird. But I mean, I got myself thinking as Mike was giving his colorway picks. I was like, all right, well, let's just say like we all picked very, very grounded 3s and 4s to choose from. So I was like, all right, well, which one has like more collabs? And just like off the top of my head, Union 4, Off-White 4, Cause 4, tons of Eminem 4s, Undefeated 4s, PSG 4s. Travis Scott, Oiler 4s, Levi Denim 4s, there's a lot of heavy hitting 4s compared to like what Ama Minier 3s, Fragment 3s, Soulfly 3s. I mean, there's tons of good 3 samples, like if you want to count like the DJ Khaled stuff, one of my favorite shoes ever, the Drake versus Lil Wayne, 2 of my favorite rappers of my youth plus Street Fighter, like sign me up. But just like when it comes to like top end, like the 3s have Vogue magazine. Like Vogue's cool, don't get me wrong, but it's like, all right, do I want a Vogue or an M&M? Like I'm taking an M&M 4 over a Vogue 3.
I think the Ducks had much better 3s than they did 4s in my opinion too.
Oh, I mean, so much better, but we can't have those. I mean, the OVO Drake stuff, like the all gold, well, Usher gold 3s, and then the OVO Drake 3s that has, let's say, 6 on the tongue. You have the Rafa stuff, not Rafa, the Zoom Vapor Jordan 3 stuff. That's pretty cool. But again, stuff, do I want that or do I want, a Cause 4? I'd rather have a Cause 4. So just like the 4 really blows. And I think that says something about the popularity of the 2. Like the 3 saved the line, but in retrospect, lots of people like doing stuff on the 4.
Yeah, definitely. I wonder if that's because like maybe MJ is a little more, I mean, obviously for the longest time, you couldn't do much on any of the Jordans that wasn't approved by MJ himself. Right. I wonder if that's the case with the 3. Maybe that shoe is more important to him and he was a little more tight about letting it become a collab shoe or something. Cause like that generally is like the story that they just default go back to is like, this is I mean, Nike doesn't ever go back to it, but like, it seems to be like, we all know. And most people, if they don't know, MJ was on the verge of leaving Nike after the 2, he was unhappy. And, Tinker unveils the Jordan 3 with no swoosh and a Jumpman logo and elephant print. And, it convinces him to stay basically. So I think my assumption is that there's it's a little bit closer to the heart for MJ, only because, that's the first time you're seeing a shoe with your logo on it. Like that's gotta be like still, I mean, that guy's had an amazing life. Don't get me wrong, but that moment of seeing your fucking Jumpman on a shoe has to be like, so just like never forget. Right.
Cause he had the wings. I mean, that is a logo of his, but that's not literally him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like game change. I need to take a half second, and because nobody ever talks about the shoes, how many reasons you have to talk about it. Mark Wahlberg's fucking Jordan 4 PEs are in Captain Insano good. I don't even like Mark Wahlberg. Planet of the Apes sucks. He ruined that franchise for a bit. Thank you, James Franco, for coming back and saving those apes. But the Wahlbergs, the Wahlberg, the name Wahlberg, fuck Donnie. Mark Wahlberg, the burgers. Mark, man, the craziest. Like this, the green ones just came to my mind. I didn't even see a picture of the green ones as I'm scrolling through this. It's like, oh yeah, those are sexy. Those are sexy. Those are really cool. And then like, obviously Eminem. I mean, the M&Ms are so elusive. I mean, people talk about, oh yeah, I got this Travis Scott one's worth like $3,000 now because I wear a size 8.5 and I hit on a raffle. No, man, talk to me if you have a pair of M&Ms, like M&M, either the Carhartt or the blue ones. Like,
any of them, yeah.
That's what's going to get me like, oh, really? Tell me the whole story, sir. Like, you're going to get all of my interest in that. Like, it's just so funny how it's funny how just like the times have just shifted so much. It's like, what's new and hottest versus just like, a lot of it's probably getting unwearable, if not already unwearable, but just like the real white whales in the sneaker game. And it's like the 4 is the vessel to a lot of those beautiful, beautiful colorways of the past.
All right. So that makes me think. I've got two questions for you guys. First, okay, we've seen colorways, right? We've talked about the 7 and 6 hair Bordeaux thing recently, right?
Mm-hmm.
Generally speaking, all of us are kind of a fan to see, colors applied to other silhouettes. It's a safer bet that we're going to be into that than doing some new thing, right? How come we've never seen the 3 and the 4 colorways exchanged, right? Like a military blue Jordan 3 would be fire as fuck to me. A black cement with elephant print 4 would be fire as fuck to me. Like, I don't understand how like this just, it's easy. That's like printing money for Nike to take colors that we already know and love and applying them to another silhouette. Especially to your point, Robbie, having both those shoes in front of you and seeing how similar they really are, without, the details obviously are different on each one, but like you could easily see those colors translating across from 3 to 4 and 4 to 3, vice versa. So How come they've never done that? And which colors should they try it with?
Oh, I mean, it's a versus pack. I mean, that's literally it's like, if they can do just like what Undefeated did with that initial, the Air Force One and the Canteen dunk. It's like, all right, let's just mix and match these bad boys. And I would love to see the freaking, like you said, the military blue on the 3. And for the 4, I feel like the 4 is a little tougher because they've done so many colors on the 4 already. But I mean, I guess. Give me a true blue 4. It sounds like a cop out. I don't want it to sound because it's another blue 4, but give me that same true blue pattern and put it on the 4. I think that'd be legit, like super clean, and you're gonna make a hand over fist money with that.
All right, I have better answers than both of you. So,
right.
I'm just kidding. Do the right thing. Do the right thing 3s on the Jordan 4? Huh? Yeah. Yeah. Baby blue, a little green, a little yellow, a little white. Very, very nice. And then either the Thunder Lightning or Tour Yellow, or hear me out, you do a What the Tour, and you put them all, mix them together and put them on a Jordan 3. That's what I could get behind that.
Yeah, that could be cool.
Velcro Jumpman you could take off. It says Rare Air behind it, right? I think they say Rare Air behind the patches. You could do, man, that'd be sweet.
I could be convinced of the 3. I'm still probably like the one sneakerhead on the planet that just does not give a shit about the do the right thing colorway. I think it's just terrible.
Tons of people don't like that. That's one that's really just like fallen by the wayside. But I'm still over here clamoring. Like if that shoe ever comes back, I am a buyer. For sure a buyer.
Okay, so my second question. You have to choose one colorway from the 3 and one colorway for the 4. What are you picking?
But they can't
PEs,
be
samples, everything under the sun.
I already got mine off the top of my head. Marky Mark and his Funky Bunch, the green. Ooh, the Pit Crew 4 though. No, okay. The black Pit Crew 4 with the metallic silver heel. That's what I want. The black leather with the metallic heel. That one's just like that's like seeing vintage titties. It's like old school, good stuff. And then the 3, I said vintage titties. You know, if you found like an old Playboy from the 70s, like yeah, this is still good. Like, that's the pit crew 4 to me. And then the Drake versus Lil Wayne 3. Give me the Drake versus Lil Wayne.
Yeah, that's a good shoe.
That's a good one.
With all promo sampling.
All right.
I almost said Anthony Hamilton's. Anthony Hamilton's a close second.
They're just brown though. That's the only thing. I like them, but they're just all brown.
Bro, how many ultra premium? That's like a Gucci shoe level quality Jordan.
I understand. We've already had this discussion. I don't rock with brown shoes like that so much. Like I'm brown, they're brown. We look like I don't wear shoes. Like what's going on?
You're wearing a brown tuxedo.
The colorways I would have to pick would be, and I lost my train of thought laughing at you. God dog it. I think for the 4s, I would have to go with. This one's tough, man. I think I have to go with the Gray Cause 4. If I had to just pick one that's not the traditional colorways, Gray Cause 4. And 3 is a tough one for me. I would probably have to go to Kobe Bryant 3.
Good.
That's a good pick. So I gotta go. You know, I gotta stick to my guns on the plastic, no plastic heel tab for the 4s, and go with the first M&M joints, the blue with the gray on the heel. That shoe is like perfect to me on the 4. I think.
Also vintage titties. So good.
And I don't know, maybe this is kind of a cop out, but the 3s, I would actually go with the Victory Lap Nipsey Hussle samples because they were just black cement with Victory Lap on the side. That was so dope to me. Like, you don't really fuck up a classic, right? But at the same time, you got your branding on it. So that'd be my pick for the 3s.
You gotta redo it. So I mean, in a perfect world, it says Victory Lap, but it's your Element logo on the side.
Yeah.
That's a tough one, man. I almost do want to go back and take the Marky Marks, but yeah, that's a good question.
I mean, there's just so many good ones too. Like, I mean, I'm not a huge Travis Scott fan, but that, like, whatever that brownish gray 4 that Travis Scott did was pretty dope. It's probably the only one I've ever seen with an all black midsole that I actually liked, because I always love seeing the black with the white is what really makes the 4 like special to me.
Mm-hmm. Well, even things like the Fear 4, it may not have been a super, I guess it was limited for the time, but the Fear 4 is just classic. I wish they would retro that one instead of stupid Oreo 5s, but like, that's just a clean shoe, and that can go in that conversation, I feel like.
Yeah, that whole Fear pack was actually really good.
I mean, there's literally this Oklahoma, UNC, Florida, or every college PE of the 4. Especially the really modern ones over the past like 3 to 4 years that all have that kind of like Mark Wahlberg sample, kind of funky suede. Oh my God. All so good.
I mean, that makes me think, like, would you rather have, so for me, the 4, I like the, like that nubuck on the black 4, right? The original black 4, whatever that, I think it's nubuck or durabuck or something. And then on 3, I would definitely prefer the leather materials. Are you guys one way or the other?
I'm more about the brand. I mean, the material doesn't matter. I just don't mess with Oklahoma, so I'm never going to wear it. Even if I had an opportunity to buy, you know, an Oklahoma PE, like I'm never going to wear it. Like, I don't care about Oklahoma. So it's like the material, I don't care if it happens to be a nice material on that shoe in particular. Pretty much all of the college ones, like they all look great, but it's put a Jumpman on the tongue, please. Like those are some of the shoes where like people get upset about the tagging. You know, it's like, oh, it looks like the Oregon 4 or the Oregon 5, but it says, you know, like the athletic jersey tag on it or something. So I'm in that camp where it's like the branding means more to me than material. So like, give me a Jumpman on the tongue and I'll buy the Oklahoma PE, or I'll buy that particular UNC PE.
Yeah, with the 4s, I don't really have a preference. I can do Durabuck or /Nubuck or leather. I'm cool with either one of those. The 3s, I like the traditional leather, but there's this one material they use. It's not, I don't know what it is. It's almost like a mixture of suede and leather. Like what they use for, I always like to call it the Smurf 3. I don't know what it is. It's like very soft. It's what they use in a chlorophyll 3 as well. I don't know what it is because it's not a true suede, but it's just this really soft material, but it still creases like leather. So I like that material, but I'd rather have more leather on the 3s, but 4s I can go either way.
Nice.
I think that's pretty cool. We could probably wrap. You want to wrap, Robbie?
My name is Robbie, and I'm here to say I'm the coolest MC in the USA.
Oh my God.
You don't need to keep that in there at this point.
You're gonna have to.
But no, I mean, I think that answers the question. I'm just going to go back and finalize. I like Jordan 4 more. Nick, I think you're a 3 guy.
Yeah, I'm a 3 guy. I was going to say too, like generally, like it seems like probably about 50-50, maybe 60-40 for the 4s in the comments on Instagram. But yeah, I mean, as of right now, you got 204 comments on that post. So clearly people have their strong opinions on that question, 3 versus 4. So hopefully people leave a comment on this video and tell us what they think.
Cheer. Mike, what's yours though?
4. Like if I had to pick one, it's going to be the 4 all day.
ESPN Cuatro.
All right. Well, that pretty much wraps. Let us know what you think. What's better, the Jordan 3, the Jordan 4? And let us know what your grail for each of those is in the comments. And, 5 years from now or 10 years from now, when we're rich and famous, we'll actually just send you a pair just because or something.
I don't know if they're going to be real or not, but I'll send you a pair.
Yeah. Never mind. Disregard that. No, but we appreciate everybody rocking with us, tuning in. If you haven't left us a review, that's a great place to tell us whether you're a Jordan 3 fan or a Jordan 4 fan. And otherwise, I guess, guys, let them know where they can find you.
Yep. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at MadWatcher789. You can find me here on Secret History and on YouTube at Mike Guillory. Robbie, where can they find you, buddy?
You can find me at RAHBEE702. And Nick?
You can find me at Nick Engvall on all the platforms, but more importantly, just follow at Sneaker History on all the platforms. And we'll catch you on the next episode. Peace.
See ya.
Goodbye.